For today's video, I'm going to go through how to balance the Ronin-SC because it's not that easy. Hey, it's your boy Nathan here, aka Six Cinema. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you do it, and also turn on those notifications because you want to know when I'm posting videos. And I might be throwing some surprise videos here or there, and I might change up the schedule. So if you have those post notifications on, you know when I'm going to be posting a video. Okay, so we have our Ronin-SC here. I already put it together. The battery is already hooked up, and I have the tripod set up on the Ronin-SC. So the first thing we want to do is put our plate on the camera. If you take a look at the bottom of the plate, there are markings that show heavy to light. If your camera's on the lighter end, obviously you're going to put the camera in the light area. And then if it is on the heavier end, make sure you place it in heavy because this is going to make a big difference when you're balancing this gimbal later on. Usually on this one, I could probably put it in between light and heavy. I'm going to place it in the middle here. So a little quick tip, usually you have a screwdriver to screw this plate on, but when I'm on the go, I always like to carry a quarter in my bag because it's quick and easy. You don't have to pull out a screwdriver all the time. It just makes it simple. If this is your first time looking at the Ronin-SC, there are a couple locks on the arms of this gimbal. We're only going to lock off the pan and the arm because we are going to first work with the tilt. So now that we have everything locked off besides the tilt arm, let's put our camera on. First, what you're going to have to do is take this little screw here, unscrew it to loosen it up a bit so we're able to get the plate on. And what you have to do, you take the camera, there's a button on the side here, you push and then just slide, and as you can see right away, it's obviously not going to be balanced. And what we want to do is when the camera is leaning forward, you want to make sure that you're moving the camera back towards the other end of the gimbal. So what you want to do is you want to slide this plate back so that the camera is stable, and if you put it too far back, the camera is going to move backwards and now it's back heavy. And then if obviously we had before, it was too front heavy, so it was sliding forward. So you got to find the right mark, just slowly move the plate back so that it's balanced right there. It looks like it's steady. And now that it's steady, there's a little knob on the side of the plate which is key. If you take this little knob and slide it to the point that your camera is steady and tighten that off, now we know that this is the position the camera has to be in. Say you took your camera off. Now that you have this little marker set, when you put your plate back on in the right position, it should be stable again. And now the plate's stable and you have that marker to guide you every time you want to put this plate back on. Moving on, we want to hit the upwards tilt. So now if you look at this, we're way off. So you want your camera to be pointing up to get that upwards facing tilt stable. And what we're going to do to fix that one is this screw on the side here, which changes the height of where your camera sits in the gimbal. So you can see that sliding up and down. When we have the camera facing up, you want to have it stable, so when you move the arm downwards, you're getting the camera moving forward and it doesn't sit well, so it's not sitting straight up. And then obviously if you move it backward, it's going to fall backwards, so you're going to find that middle point. In the end, you want this gimbal to be as stable as possible, so if it takes a little bit of time, it's okay. So now we got that there, it's facing up, so we're going to lock that off. So we have the forward tilt, the upward tilt, lock that tilt off so there's no movement, and then we're going to move over to the arm. And look at that, yep. So what we have to do to move the arm is we have to unlock this screw down here, which also puts the plate in place. And what you want to do is you want to move the base of the camera depending on where your arm is swinging. If your arm is swinging down and right, you want to move your plate to the left. If your arm is swinging down and left, then you want to move your plate to the right. Like all the other ones, you have to move it little by little to get that center balance. And then once your arm is steady, it should be sitting perfectly fine. So we lock this up and now you have your arm looking steady and it's centered up. So we finish the tilt, we finish the arm, and the last thing that we have to finish is the pan arm. So we're gonna lock this arm off now and we're gonna unlock the pan arm. So the way to find out if this is stable, you have to tilt your camera at about 45-degree angle, and it looks like this pan arm luckily is already balanced. But just to show you, I'm gonna make it unbalanced, and the pan arm is not set to where it's supposed to be. It leans and falls to the left because I'm tilting it to the left. So what we want to do, we unscrew the side right here, level it off right here, moving it in and out so that pan, like as you saw before, the camera isn't moving when I do the tilt. So this is gonna take a little while probably to figure it out at first, because you have to lock it off every time you want to check. So that's still not working. There we go. So now we're good. The camera does not move when we put our gimbal on a 45-degree axis, which means the pan is set. So now that we have fixed everything, we can unlock all of our locks that we have steady and look to see where our gimbal is at. All the locks are good, everything's set. Our upwards tilt is still good. We have our forward tilt still good. The arm is good, centered. Our pan is nice and centered, and we are good to go. So next step of what we're gonna do is we are gonna turn this gimbal on, press and hold the power button on the side. The one last thing we have to do to make sure our gimbal is ready and we can start shooting is we open up the app on our phone. So what we wanna do is we wanna click on balance test. So what we wanna do is we wanna tilt our gimbal on a 15-degree angle to begin the test. And even though you might not know what 15 degrees is, it does show on the app. Have it holding there and press begin test. And the gimbal is gonna do its work. And everything turns out excellent. So what that does is it's testing the tilt, the roll, and the pan, making sure everything is set and leveled. And if everything wasn't balanced before we did that test, it would show up on this app, and then you just have to go back and adjust a few things. That is it. The gimbal is balanced and we are ready to shoot. This is what you bought the gimbal for. This is the steady shots that you want. You want some buttery shots. So when I first got my gimbal, it took a while for me to get used to the balancing. It's very particular, and you want to have everything balanced before you end up turning this gimbal on, because I've used it a couple times where I didn't have it balanced and I wasn't balancing it properly, and it was just glitching out on me, and it's not good for the motor of the gimbal, and it could ruin it. Like I said, if you go through the balance test, it will tell you what you need to fix. So that is a good way to make sure that you have your gimbal ready and you're ready to go out and shoot. So I hope you liked the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also turn on those notifications because you want to know when I'm posting videos. I might be changing when I post videos, so if you have that notification bell on, you'll know when I have my videos go up and live. Also make sure that you leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the video. Like always, my links to my socials are going to be down below at 6 Cinema. Make sure you check it out, and I will see you next week for a brand new video. Take it easy. Peace.